Welcome back, shop rats. Today we're going to talk about living with regrets when it comes to the way you do things on the projects that you're working on. This is an important message, so stick around. Let's watch the show intro. We'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
It has been brought to my attention several times about regrets when it comes to projects. Now, let's kind of go back a little bit here and talk about mindsets. First of all, I believe, without going through all 9 cars that are on the property, I believe that the 68 GTS is the car that I currently own that I've had the longest. And I purchased that car in 1994 and finished all the work on that car in around 2000. So about 6 years, and about 4 of those years I didn't work on it. I got burned out on the project and was going to sell it. So there's a lot of things about that car that I wish were different. But I want to clarify that just because you wish something was different doesn't mean that you regret it. So the vision for that car was to be a supercharged big block Mopar engine, and I finally gave up on that dream. Not that I can't do that at some point, but I realized that that car just needs to be what it is. It really is complete, it's drivable, it's enjoyable. Let's maintain it for what it is. Now, there's a lot of things about that car that I wish were different, but that doesn't mean that I regret the way that it is, and there's a difference. So I didn't paint that car. I did I did all the body work. As far as hanging all the sheet metal, I did all the fabrication. I tubbed that car, narrowed the unibody, put the roll cage in it. Everything that's on that car, hands-on wise, as far as metal work, all of that is my handiwork. The one thing I didn't do on that car was paint it. I got it to a point. I was actually in the process of starting to do the prep work. And if you can look at that car, you can see that, for example, the doors on the car are perfectly straight because I blocked those out to finish. The rest of the car, not quite as much, because I took it to a body shop and I paid to have somebody finish the car, and they didn't put the love and attention into it that I would have had I done it myself. It's too bad. The front fenders are Unlimited Racing Products, fiberglass fenders that, quite frankly, are garbage as far as I'm concerned. They look terrible, in my opinion, but in the context of the car, it's all right. The hood is an AAR Products fiberglass hood. I believe, from what I remember, I'm old, my memory's not great, that the hood was an AAR. I know it's an AAR, but I believe it was the first one out of the mold. They had just finished the product for the GTS hood back in those days. So, of course, the first thing I had them do was cut a hole in the hood for the tunnel ram, which they laughed about, and for a small $50 fee, I believe it was, they went ahead and cut that hood in there for me. But that hood isn't finished, in my opinion, as good as it should be. Do I regret that? No, I don't. The car is what it is. Do I wish it was different? Yeah, I wish it was better. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to clarify, I'm not a paint and body guy. I've done paint work, I've worked in body shops, but I would no way put myself in the class of the guys that do this stuff every day. I can turn out a respectable product. I can make a black car pretty straight. You've seen the 69 Charger, not my handiwork, but my coaching for my son, the car turned out flat. You've seen the 47 Ford, so I think I can speak with some level of competence, but don't really think that I'm a paint and body guy, because I wouldn't call myself that. Just like I don't say that I'm a fabricator. I do a lot of fabrication, but I would never class myself in with somebody who's a professional fabricator, somebody like Fitzy, for example, or Matt over at Iron Trap Garage, or, of course, the legendary Gene Winfield. I'm nowhere near those guys. So I don't consider myself a fabricator. However, I am a mechanic. I will own that one. I was a professional mechanic for years before I went into engineering, and I'm a certified mechanic. I've maintained as many of those certifications as I could over the years, and I've wrenched for a lot of years, so I'll own that one. But regrets. Do I have regrets when it comes to the GPS? And the answer is no. The car is what it is. Now, I really have thought about going back and stripping that car down and painting it again and making it better. I've even thought about doing a color change. The engine bay is black on purpose because I knew I was going to be beating the crap out of that car, as you've seen me do on the channel. And I knew the engine was going to be coming apart and going in and out. And so, do I wish I hadn't done it black? Yeah, I kind of wish I would have gone ahead and done it body color. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. I've never built the motor that I intended. Even aside from a big block, my second plan was to put a supercharged small block in it. I've got the blower. Do I regret that I didn't do that and I stuck with the tunnel ram nitrous engine? No, I don't regret that. Would it be nice if I had the supercharged motor in it? Yeah, it would. May I put one in it someday? Maybe. But right now, the engine is starting to get a little tired. I know it's going to need some work because one of these days I'm going to be out doing a video with it, doing some burnouts, and you're going to witness the internals of that engine puked out on the road. Will I regret that? Absolutely not. I don't live in regrets. I let things be what they are. And I think that's an important distinction. In my 40 years of doing car projects, there's a lot that I've learned. I'm always growing. And I wanted to I'm going to do an episode on this specifically, but I kind of wanted to touch base on some things. Tony over at Fitzy Fabrication talked a while ago about the difference between fabricating and being a carriage builder, which is carriage building is like making these exquisite panels that you can't buy, and you spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours restoring a car this way, but everything is done to absolute perfection. Not interested. So there's carriage builders, and then there's what I call model builders, and there's nothing wrong with either of these. Please don't think it's a criticism. I'm just talking about what I do. Model builders are, you take the car all apart, you drill out all the welds, you drill out all the spots, and you go out and you buy all the pieces, basically come on a big plastic sprue. No, they don't. But you buy all the pieces to just weld in replacement metal. That's fine. I've done plenty of that work over the years. I don't have a problem with that. That's not what I choose, partly because I can't afford it. When I do a car and there's imperfections and there's things that I know that could be done better, or maybe there was a shortcut, or maybe there was a workaround that I had to do because of the limitations of my resources, do I ever regret it? Absolutely not. The beautiful thing to know is you can always go back and redo something. I paint my own cars, so yeah, I'm out a few $1,000s for paint materials, but if I'm not happy with the way something turns out, I can always go back and redo it. I can touch it up. I can cut a panel off and replace it. I have the skills to do that. It doesn't bother me. Will I? Never have. Doesn't mean I won't. And the plans that I have for stitches, I'm just going to still kind of be a little mysterious and stuff like that, because that car may be required to go back and have repeated repairs done to it, and it's going to be a show quality black paint job just like the Charger. Will I regret it? Yeah, it's just a frickin' car. I don't take this stuff that seriously. If somebody smashes into it because of their negligence, yeah, I'm going to be... I'm going to be. If I do something stupid, it happened the other day. I was back in the 47 out of the shop, and there was a pile of cement bags near the door that I was getting ready to move out, and I caught the edge of the fender. I'm sitting in the car going, so what? I can touch it up. It's not a big deal. It's just paint. If it was dented, we'd fix it. Fortunately, nothing happened, just so you know. And the sandbags or the cement bags went out immediately. But I don't understand this whole idea of going back and looking at a project that you did 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30 years ago and regretting you didn't do it different. Well, if you want it done differently, do it differently. Tear it back apart again. Cut it back apart. Change what you don't like. Otherwise, Let it be what it is. To me, each of these projects is a milestone. It's a hallmark. It's a road sign, if you will, on where I was at in the journey. In the GTS, could I have done things differently? Oh, good Lord, of course. If I was to build another pro street car today, I would do things so much differently. Would I change the core of the project? Absolutely not. Would I go out and buy an S&W chassis kit for the car? Absolutely not. I love the fact that I narrowed the unibody in that car. I love the way the car's built. I love the concept of that car. I love the fact that it was built to have a back seat in it so my kids could ride in it. Have they ridden in it? Once or twice. Because by the time I got the car done, they had grown up. But the point is, it's got a back seat, and maybe someday, if I ever have grandkids, they can ride in the back seat. So I would really encourage you, just don't live in regrets. Look at it and be proud of what you did because it was the best you could do at that time. Learn from it and move on. Let it be a hallmark. Let it be a memorial. Even let it be an example of, boy, I'd never do it that way. Hey, that's the way some people view my channel, so what the heck? All right, that's going to do it for this Talk About It Tuesday. We're talking about regrets. No regrets, no apologies. You can't walk tall when you're on your knees. Stand up. The power is you. Face in front is what you gotta do. The future is on its way. That's from Iron Fist, one of the very first songs that we wrote after we reunited the band about 8 or 9 years ago. All right, that'll do it for this episode. We're over on the Face thing. Instagramma, she adores us, /MyCarShop. You're here on the You Thing, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what the heck? Why not? It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it actually helps out all the rest of us that are on the channel, and you could maybe benefit something too, even if it's to watch my channel and go,
That guy is a freaking idiot, and he has no idea what he's doing.
That's okay. All right, one more thing. Don't forget, it's the way we end every episode.